Facecam, and we are here streaming Action Johnny versus holyfieldbr. holyfieldbr is playing Q-Nakoma Lion Honor Run deck with a Crab Splash, which I think is kind of interesting, and Sudden Tempest, which I think is also interesting. I'm going to turn the Facecam off because it is nothing but light. Let's see if that helps. That's the wrong thing. Is that better? Sure, we'll go with that. Action Johnny is running Mitsu High 5 deck out of Crane Splash with some spicy new names and Justicar's approaches. There is no purple. It is Dragon versus Lion. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Dan is typically a unicorn player. While they are getting the first turn set up, let's go back to the decks. We're looking at a Seeker of Earth Honor Run deck. Turns out I don't need a fan on. Still running Kami Unleashed. Spirit Color Prodigy is a new add to it, as is the, what I'm told is the worst Lion duty. And Field of Ruin, I imagine, is in there specifically for the new Crane Abomination deck. This is a high 5 deck, but it's running Justicar's Approach and Ichiro, which are two cards I'm very fond of. And it looks like they are not ready yet, or they haven't started yet, so we can talk about it a little bit more. You've got a standard-ish Crane Splash with Above Question and Return the Offense. There is one Shuffle Goblin. The new name is to turn on the Justicar's Approach. It is out of Keeper, so there are some counters to keep it safe from attachment hate. And Ichiro is going to keep everyone at their honor status. I assume Historic Rival's in there just for the rally, although I guess he does work with Ichiro as well. He can dishonor someone that has less attachments than him, and then if they get an attachment, they're stuck. Okay, we are underway. We see a Mitsu with 2 Fate come out, just right off the hop, and then that's answered with a Chronicler of Conquests. There's a low bid from Lion. Dragon matches it with a lower bid of 3. I think that's going to hamper the game plan for playing a bunch of cards for High House of Light just a little bit. If you are out in chat, if you can let me know if my audio sounds okay, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, you may just have to listen to me, my inane ramblings in bad quality. Mitsu's going in for Fire Ring at Rich Frog. Nope, he's defending at Fire Ring at Rich Frog. Helps if I read cards, or read the box. There's a defend. Mitsu's untargetable. I think we'll see a favorable ground out. That box should also keep him safe. Nope, it does not keep him safe from Q-Nakoma. I wonder if he's aware of that. Since High House of Light specifies events, And Kyuden Nakoma is very clearly not an event. Interesting that we see a favorable ground to send home. I assume that means he's got some military bump. Well, there's a prepared ambush. So he can buy in people as needed. Did not trigger the Chronicler though, and now there are no battlefields in play. There's a pass from Action Johnny. Now, Holyfield is coming in with a military air attack, so I assume we're going to see a Kami unleashed here, or a prepared ambush, since he's got a bunch of money, or a Legion of One. That'll do it too. What holding is that? Oh, it's a Miramoto's Dojo. Okay. Is he going to pop it for a break? Feels like an overly aggressive play for an honor run deck. And he goes for it. Okay. Dojo and Season of War go away. And he gains 2. So I expect we're going to see low bids from here on out. Favor is going to be a push, which I think matters more for Holyfield than it does for Dan. No, he's not running censures either. So this is just purely a stat pump. So Favor's not going to be super important this game. Mystic and Ichiro go away. We see Zentaro, Spirit Caller, and Sonuri 2, and a Yokuni. I think he goes for a Spirit Caller, a Swordsmith with 3. I was going to say Yokuni could be an interesting buy because it would stop him from using his honored veterans. I assume here you have to buy the Spirit Caller. It's a little unfortunate that you don't have a Bushi in the yard for Zentaro. Yep, that's an old message. Make sure I don't miss anything. Okay. Sonuri gets bought with 2. And there's a pass from Dragon. And there's a hard bought Zentaro, which is a little unfortunate with 2 proving grounds. He does use the honored veterans to honor Zentaro. Pops a storehouse. And low bids. I hope they're both happy with the cards in hand. Hopefully Dragon has at least 1 duel in hand to help mitigate the how well Lion can play without a hand. There's pass. Oh, there's the Field of Ruins to get rid of a proving ground. Gosh, the Swordsmith is firing. I don't think there's going to be a lot found that can help that. No, but he can find a bunch of other stuff that's really useful. Finds a Just the Course approach. If he's got a new name, that Mitsu can start doing a lot of damage. One Proving Ground gets et by the Field of Ruin, and I assume the other one will get et by Zentaro. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday. Just going to go for an Earth Ring, start trying to get some more hand advantage. It's also quite likely that Mitsu's just going to walk down the row as well. Looks like he's relying on the Dice of Fate to determine where he goes, and he finds a pilgrimage, which shouldn't be too much of an issue to go over. There's no defense, which is probably the best way to play it. Court game's down. Turns out you can't really do a lot in the way of duels if you don't have someone in front of you. There's the new name. There's a Daimyo's Favor. Looks like he's going to go for resolving a firing here to get back into breaking point. There's a Way of the Dragon, which is super good on Mitsu. There's a Just the Course approach. And now we just need one more card, and ooh, that was early. And he realizes it. He was one card shy. So this Mitsu is now not long for this world. And he's saying that miscount is probably game. Could be. That Mitsu dying to the oncoming Void Ring is really going to be painful. Especially since he's invested as much as he has into it already. There's a Finger of Jade, so now he can resolve his ring effects. Looks like Holyfield's going to possibly let him readjust things, which is awful sporting of him. Dan's explaining the line the clear line that should have happened. I think it was just a miscount. And it looks like he's going to let him do it manually. That is quite sporting, and a testament to the community, I guess. Yeah, letting him take that back is huge, because Mitsu dying at the end of this round would have been basically catastrophic with the investment that has already been put in on him. It looks like he accidentally added a fate instead of taking one off. There's a Jigoku Brain comment. We all know it's really just the added pressure of being streamed as well. It isn't, but it's all, I mean, it's, oh no, that is right. Pilgrimage cancels the ring effects. All of that was basically pointless. That's hilarious. Huh. Good to know for future games, I guess. Um, yeah, it isn't just an accidentally passed through a trigger, but at the same time, him triggering Mitsu on, or him triggering High House of Light on playing 4 cards instead of 5 is pretty clearly a mistake, like a misclick or a miscount. And Holyfield was just passing through the conflict anyway, so it's not like any information would have changed. So at the end of that, all that happens is he's down 1 honor. Pilgrimage is still standing. I have to imagine that there's a hawk tattoo in hand. Otherwise, this is still going to be a rough go of things. Decides to go Paul Water, find shameful. It could. It's much easier for it to happen in real life. It is real nice of the Jigoku devs to put that card counter in there. So that is a plus. We see, yeah, it's also not a complicated thing to walk back either. It's just a couple mouse clicks. We do see return the offense. That Holyfield decides to win or tie. Nope, he decides to win it. It looks like he's very clearly going on a plan to break provinces now instead of honoring out. Yeah, it's right in the middle of the screen too. But sometimes Jigoku Brain is a thing. Yeah, it looks like Holyfield is going pure offensive here. Watering doesn't do anything. Things are not looking super hot for Daniel here. Let's pass through. Tessin. Oh no, right, the RTO means she doesn't bow. So now it's going to be basically another free break. Going on fire. Finds a resto that's not going to do anything. Things are looking kind of grim if you're a Dragon fan today. Yeah, right? Like, Pilgrimage has text too. It just very rarely applies in the middle of a conflict. We see an easy crunch, and Sonuri gets honored off of it. There's the favor. Spirit Caller Prodigy doesn't exactly have a whole lot of targets to pick from here. There's a Mitsu dupe and a Seasons of War. I would definitely dupe Mitsu, buy the Swordsmith with no fate, and then Seasons. Well, no, because then, yeah, I actually don't think Seasons is the right call here. And that Dishonor token on Mitsu is making it kind of awkward for the, or kind of awkward to stop the Lion's Pride Brawler. Well, yeah, and also to Holyfield walking it back, it was still kind of important even though Pilgrimage countered it, because otherwise I'm pretty sure we would have seen the Void Ring claimed and that Mitsu would be dead. So it was very nice of Holyfield to walk that back, even though it does drastically alter things. Given how the board looks now, and that Holyfield's out of fate, I would absolutely Seasons right now. I assume we're not going to see if that happens since he bought the Swordsmith. Field of Ruin's going to eat the Mystic, but that's not a big deal. I think you have to bid 5 here. And he does. And Holyfield's at least threatening the honor game again. Dan is filling up his hand here. Gets a hawk tattoo, that'll be really useful. And Scenery coming in on Sacred Sanctuary is going to be kind of sad, because that means Mitsu is likely to turn sideways. Do we have any good call? Oh, he couldn't. That's why he couldn't Seasons, because of the Spirit Caller, making that super risky. That Spirit Caller's basically blank. So it's not a super concern. I assume we're going to see a political conflict here. Just pull it in. There's a Sacred Sanctuary that can't do anything. And there's the all-in defend. So stuff has to happen, otherwise... now granted, Dragon has a lot more cards to play with, even though there is an exposed courtyard that's only during military conflicts. So I believe we're going to see an attempt at the high five. I kind of wish you would have used that Daimyo's Favor before the conflict started. It feels like an unnecessary loss of tempo. But Holyfield plays a Court Games to honor up the Spirit Caller Prodigy. No, goes for the Lion's Pride Brawler. Oh, right, because he is at 4. He wants to turn him sideways. Justicar's Approach comes down, so The two of those plus the Way of the Dragon means that Action Johnny can count to 3 pretty easily. I assume we're going to see a couple more cards played, so you can trigger a fire ring twice to make it basically insurmountable. Fine Katana comes down, so he is now up to a 7. So he can definitely start battling people. Exposed Courtyard, or Logistics moves Exposed Courtyard. That's basically just to draw a card. Oh, and we see a Defender Honor come down, and the stats are 5 to 7. I think that was a good counter. Keeps Holyfield's hand low and counts as a card played. There's a third Justicar's Approach. If there's an RTO in hand, I think he is back in it easily. Seal the Dragon to make him a monk, and that's the 5th card. So, steals the Void Ring, or fade off the Void Ring. We're probably going to see a Fire Ring happen. I think he has to do the Fire Ring effect, because that makes the Justicar's Approaches, because those are military duels, he can start knocking people sideways. He doesn't. He chooses to go straight for the duel. Interesting. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter when it's 8 to 4. Oh, I bet he wished he still had a proving ground. So we're definitely going to see the Sacred Sanctuary saved. I think we need to let's prepare for war. Bring her back up to Honored, because that's a card that does too much, but that's okay. He still has, 4 more Justicar Approaches duels. So the question is, does he go in for the kill on Sonuri and use up the last 2 of his duels? I actually don't think I would. I would probably dishonor the Prodigy and then favorable out the Unbowed Swordsmith. That lets Holyfield win, so he can't use Jude Nakoma. And lets Action Johnny get an attack. Alright, there's the Earth Ring, so now there are no more actions that can be taken for Holyfield besides the Spirit Caller. He does decide to go for a kill on Sonuri. I guess he's playing for next turn, since now that Sonuri's dead, Holyfield can't attack in. I'm pretty sure he's out of... Well, no, he still does have the one more Mitsu activation. He could just... What do we got here? We've got 3, 3, and 3. He could ring a use the Mitsu to... Okay, that'll do it too. I was going to say he could use the Mitsu action to bow the Lion's Pride Brawler and then grounds out, but it looks like he's going just to win here and play for next turn. Or he could just play an RTO. And he is, in one fell swoop, kind of back in it. All of those bonuses will continue to apply, so he is just a monster. So probably going to see a political water swing at the exposed courtyard. Political void, okay. Oh, he's got a hawk tattoo in hand, and Holyfield still can't attack. There's nothing he can do at this point to stop this break from happening, so yeah, might as well defend to prevent the honor loss, but I don't know that that's going to be enough. Because you clearly can't attack back into this, because otherwise you give him a second military, or you give him a military conflict and he takes 2 provinces. Chooses not to defend. Oh, I guess, oh, no, okay, he's going to try and go in. He could have Spirit called in the... no, I don't think that's going to sequence the way he wants to. Oh, Spirit Call Prodigy. Guess it's Sonuri. Nice. That's right. So, and there is a Legion of 1 for... Yeah, he could easily break on this. Because he can come in, use the exposed courtyard to replay the Legion of 1, and then Spirit Call no one a value in. So Sonuri continues to shut off Sacred Sanctuary. We are, I believe all the Justicar's approaches have been used. A conflict character would do nicely. Any one of, I guess, actually only the Slovenly Scavenger, I believe, can save this. I don't see any other way to... Oh, Void Fist, if he's got 2 cards. So there's the Legion of 1 line. So now we got to see Hawk Tattoo plus another card plus a Void Fist. And he's got to do something here. I think Void Fist or Slovenly Scavenger are the only saves. Your Jade Hawk Tattoo. Yep. Slovenly Scavenger or the cards to... Nope, and he doesn't have it. That was a good ending to that game. That was. It definitely looked like it had swung one way and then quickly went back the other. So we see Holyfield take the win. Not through an honored victory, but definitely a line style victory. Thank you for joining. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.